Joining me now, someone who's, I don't think, a victim, at least not yet. Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan, member of the Environment and Public Works Committee, who just met with another victim, one President Joseph Biden, about the Willow Reservoir, oil and gas up in the great state of Alaska. Senator, welcome back to the show. What did you learn?
Larry, great to be back. Good to see you, my friend.
What was his body language, or even better, what did he tell you?
Well, look, I'm not going to get into what the president told me on this. I'll tell you what we were telling him. And the first thing I did was I presented the president with the joint resolution from the Alaska State Legislature. All the Democrats, all the Republicans, all the independents in our Senate and House all want Willow. This is something that, as you know, you had our governor on recently. The entire state of Alaska is fully behind. And as you know, Larry, this isn't just important for Alaska, it's important for America in terms of energy security, almost 200,000 barrels at peak production. We certainly need that, the highest environmental standards in the world, and 2,500 jobs, 75% of which are union, to build it. So look, this is a big test for the Biden administration, because so many things that they say they support, union jobs, working families, Alaska natives, strong national security, are wrapped up in this huge decision.
But what did he say? Or what was his body language? Here's the thing, the giveaway to some extent. And Mike Dunleavy, Governor Dunleavy, who's a terrific governor, great citizen, was on here the other night. And they're talking about what was going to originally be 5 pads down to 3 pads, now 2 pads. At 2 pads, the platforms to drill and so forth, it's doubtful that Conoco will do it because it won't be, the economics don't work for them. Now, did that subject come up?
Oh, yes. I mean, look, we press every angle possible. And to be honest, the president and his advisors were mostly in listening mode, but I made the case, and we've made the case with the White House for months, that if you go down to 2 pads, you're killing the project, right? Period. We are going to view that as a complete rejection. And the other thing, though, Larry, that I really wanted to highlight with the president is his own EIS, his own environmental impact statement from his administration when they redid this after President Trump did it with 5 pads, shows that if you don't produce this project, if you don't do Willow, the greenhouse gas emissions globally will actually go up significantly. Why? Because we would be importing from dirty places like Venezuela or Saudi Arabia. That is actually in their analysis. So I was pointing that out because you're hearing all this craziness from the far left radicals calling the Willow project a, quote, climate bomb. I hate that phrase. But actually, if you don't produce the Willow project, you're going to get a lot of more emissions. That was actually in their EIS. It shows that the CO2 emissions from the Willow project each year would be about 0.15% of total emissions for the United States. So when you're seeing all these far-left radical environmental groups protesting it, pressuring these guys, by the way, they're protesting from the White House today, it's nonsense. This is a project that is good for jobs, good for American energy security. And the other thing I press them on is they talk a lot about racial equity, racial justice. The vast majority of the Alaska Native people, the indigenous people of our state, want this project.
Sure, jobs.
If they reject it, they're going to be
That's what
jobs.
Deb Haaland at the Interior Department has never understood. But look, you're talking about nat gas and LNG. To the extent that we produce more nat gas and export more LNG, then we'll make the world a cleaner place. That's 100%. The key, right? That's the absolute key. If you get that through their thick skull, that's the whole point of it.
100%. And as you know, John Kerry, the guy that you and I both have major issues with, he goes around the world telling people not to buy American energy, clean-burning American energy. You know, I always wonder whose side that guy's on. But with regard to Willow, you know, this is really important for Alaska, for America. And again, a test. We'll see if the radical far left is the overriding interest that the Biden administration looks to please, as opposed to working Americans, Alaska Natives, our national security, and certainly the energy security of our nation.
All right, Senator Dan Sullivan, thanks for weighing in.